This video is a spell. It is a beautiful spell of healing and connection. A collaborative art magic spell woven in co-creation with 4 other art witches from across this beautiful world. Each of us are creating our own unique art spells of healing and connection magic, which are powerful in and of themselves, but together they form a supercharged joint intention to increase global healing and connection. Here are the other witches who are taking part in this collaborative art spell.
Hi there, I'm Kara, host of Pagan Crafting. I'm a pagan art green witch with a little side of shamanka. I'm a holistic healer and a professional medium. My day job, I'm a shamanic art life coach, and I like to bring all that into my channel. My channel is nature-based, seasonal-based, elemental-based, and everything to do with the nature around us. I'm from Alberta, Canada, and I like to incorporate what I live around me with my channel. So join me today if you like all things nature, spells, candles, crafts, you name it. Let's do it. Let's have
Hi, my name is Aurora from Lavender Hazelwood Witches. I do a lot of green hedge and really hearth witchery, I guess. And I've also been traveling the priestess path with her mystery school, and I am especially drawn to our animal creature friends. I'm excited because Amy from Magical Crafting and I, since we're in the same part of the world, we've decided to collaborate in this collaboration and both do some workings around our pollinators and helping them out. So we are going to take a trip into the garden.
Hello, my name is Amy, and I'm the Art Witch of Magical Crafting. For this Art Witch collaboration, I'll be crafting a magical bee house and adding some spell work along the way. Let's do some magical crafting.
Hey everyone, I'm the Witchling. I am an archaeologist and an artist and of course a witch. Humans doing art has been as old as humanity itself. Honestly, it's like breathing for humans. So everybody can do art, everyone can do art, and everybody should. And I'm trying to teach you to bring more art into your life and into your craft.
And I'm Jessica, folk witch and creatrix, living and spelling in my ancestral homeland of South Wales. But it's not just us who are part of this collab. You, the viewer, are also part of this spell, and the healing and connection magic extends between us too, weaving a living web of healing and connection. This magic happens just by watching, but if you'd like to offer something else too, then there is the opportunity to do that. I'll explain more about that later. When Cara from Pagan Crafting put out the call for this Art Witch collab, she gave us some guidelines to follow. She wanted us to show our magical side, choose a container for our magic, use something from our land where we are rooted, and use colours which make sense to us for healing and connection. For me, the first two kind of merged, as so much of my magic is about sacred space, holding space, creating space, connecting with the spirits of that space. That is why a lot of what I share here on my channel is about the everyday magic of sacred containers. For me, that looks like journaling, daily connections and habits, how I set up and use my space. So for my part in this collaborative magic, I'm creating an altered book journal. And I mean altered in both senses of the word. Altered as in changed, and altered as in made into a sacred space for healing and connection. I chose to use a book called Simple Acts to Save Our Planet for this project. This is a book I bought a few years ago now when I was feeling overwhelmed by the problems in the world, especially environmental damage caused by humans, and I wanted some concrete ideas for things I could do. But I was disappointed with the book. It actually made me feel more stressed and helpless. It reads like a dry and soulless list of do's and don'ts. I wondered why the book made me feel worse, and I realized it's because it comes from a perspective where the world is an inanimate rock hurtling through space with no agency of its own. That is not the beautiful animate earth which I know and love. The book did not resonate with me because I believe the magic is real and that we can have a relationship with the earth which isn't based on being that knight in shining armor rushing in to save the day, who can often do more harm than good. I believe that every time I consciously open my heart and my intuition, I receive wisdom direct from the land itself about what it needs. I believe that it is not up to me to save the world. No, my job is just to be what I am, a human, in the fullest sense of the word, a custodian of this small area in South Wales where I live, in relationship with and guided by the spirits of the land and the local plants and animals. And so I chose to use this book to weave this spell of healing and connection, altering it from a set of words which come from a place of fear and disconnection into something which expresses the true connection which is possible, and also holds space for even more to come. Kara asked us to represent the land where we live in our spell. For this, I chose to use some yarrow, which I gathered last summer, to add a layer of protection and power to the sigil I made and then hid inside this book. In my Goddess Circle membership, we're connecting with Venus this month, and yarrow is a Venus herb. I thought that was perfect energy for a healing and connection working. The sigil itself had serious Venus vibes, I thought too. I like to hide sigils in my notebooks and journals. Usually I keep those private, but I felt that this is a collaborative spell for global healing and connection, and so it made sense to share that process in this video too. The fourth ingredient that Kara asked us to consider for our art magic spells was the colours that we chose to use. For this, I decided to take my lead from the book itself, which had green and like a kind of pinky red as the main colours. And I kind of altered this slightly so that I went with green and pink mainly as my two kind of principal colours for this project. I chose these because green and pink are both heart colours, again very associated with Venus for me, and green I see as being a very healing colour, and pink is a colour of like self-love and also of connection. So I felt like those as my two main colours were they just made sense to me. Of course, because this is not like a one piece finished project, there are many more colours included in this project as well. The different things on different pages, but I feel like that thread of the pink and the green runs through the whole of the project. All acts of creation are acts of magic. It is bringing something into being which was not there before, shaping it with intention into something tangible. If you would like to offer something tangible to this spell I'm weaving here, you could send me something to include in the book. Maybe a quote or a drawing or something handwritten or a leaf. The only restrictions are they need to fit inside, which is roughly A5 size, and need to be offered in the spirit of deepening, healing and connection. You can contact me through my website, Jessica and the Moon, and I will let you know where to send your contribution. Or perhaps you may want to create your own altered book, and if you do, I would love to see what you make. You could email me with a picture, or if you have a channel, make your own video. I also have a Facebook group, The Circle of Kindreds, where we share our creativity and magic. You're welcome to share in there. It's a truly lovely space. By adding to this spell book, we feed the spell, increasing the healing and connection magic. I'm going to continue to add things myself too as I go along. That's one of the fun things about an altered book, is that it's never really finished, especially when you intend to use it as a journal, which I do with this book. I'm going to use it specifically for journaling around the themes of healing and connection, which is what this spell, what this collaboration was all about. And it's been quite a while since I've made an altered book, and I used to make them quite a lot, like 10-15 years ago now, and I'd forgotten so many things about how to do it, but it was really healing for me just to get back into doing it. It took me, I did it over a period of days, probably like over about 8 or 9 days, doing it like a little bit, a few pages each day. And that's what I love, you can just kind of come back to it, add different things. If something's kind of not going how you want it to, you can make changes. It's like there's always little tweaks and things that you can do. And I filmed as much of the process as I possibly could. Some of it I did as these kind of like sped up recordings, but because there was so many, it was hours and hours it took me to make this, I had to speed it up a lot. And later on as well, I've included some time lapses because it just wasn't going to be possible for you to see the whole process from the beginning. But I just kind of wanted to explain what it was that I did, in case you do want to have a go at making your own project and you haven't made an altered book before. I know some people do find altered books really triggering because they don't people sometimes get stressed that you're like messing with the book, because books are kind of seen as sacred in themselves. But I hope I've explained like how I felt about this book, and actually I feel like I'm improving on it by doing this work with it. So basically you choose your book, and it's really good to have one that is hardback like this one, and you take pages out and then you stick pages together to kind of make your actual pages you're going to have in your book, and then you decorate it. It's really quite simple and straightforward. You can add things like pockets and pouches and tip-ins, and you just have fun with it, you know. It's really, it's simple, and it is just like, it's not like a work of art that you're going to hang on the wall. It is something much more like everyday, and it's that kind of like everyday magic that I love so much. And so I think that's why bookmaking, like altered bookmaking or junk journaling and just journaling in general, these are the ways that I like express my magic in the everyday, and they're accessible and not like overwhelming. And yeah, that's what I just love about it. And I just use little bits of scraps, little bits of things that are around. I did also use some of the supplies I got from the grabby box, but yeah, it looks really good. Here is the book, which is kind of finished, you know. Like I said, it's never really finished. The spell will be ongoing. I've written this book as a spell on the spine. And the Art Wich collab, and I got rid of save, and I've just got our planet with healing and connection. And then the first, I kept this really kind of simple. I may add more to this later on, but I felt like this was this quote as well. The wound is the place where the light enters you. I just, it really like gave me the goosebumps when I read that. I did round the corners, which I don't think I did that on film either. I have done a couple of things which I didn't remember to film, but yeah, mainly I think I recorded everything. So the first couple of pages, like there's lots of blank space, and that's deliberate because this is to write in as well. So I want to be able to write in things, like maybe things I'm doing to work on healing connection, maybe like things that insights I have around those themes, you know. This is what this book is going to be for. And of course, if you guys send me things with that theme as well, I can include those in some of the spaces that are here. I've got a pocket here which I made, which I've left it empty for now, but I will make like little cards or strips or tags to go in here, or maybe like a letter could go in here, but I've left it empty because I wasn't sure if people will send me stuff, which would be really fun, and then that's a good space where I could tuck some things in there. So yeah, I really love this owl picture here. Some of these things, like I said, were from the grabby box, which I had. It was just such good timing. I had that a couple of weeks ago, and then, you know, I'm using a lot more kind of scrapbooking supplies doing a project like this. So I'll try and remember to link that grabby video as well if you want to see where some of the supplies are from. A lot of them are just like basic kind of art store supplies, or, you know, there's washi tapes and stickers and things like that. So like I said, most of them are from grabby, but some of them are just more kind of generic art supply type stuff, like the gesso and things like that. So this page is very minimal and kind of pared back, and I tried to keep the frames that were in the book in some of the instances. Like I've definitely like decorated them and kind of blended them into the artwork, but yeah, they are I felt like that was but that's one of the nice things about using an altered book is I prefer not to completely like obliterate what is underneath. I'm working with that, and it's like the book tells you what it wants, what is going to be on these pages. It whispers that to you, and then you create it. So yeah, I feel like it's a co-collaborative process with the book itself as well. So that's always really fun. Like, you know, I never sit down and think, oh, I'm going to make a page like this. It turns out how it is. So I just like painted over a lot of the words and stuff that were in here, or stuck paper over also the words, keeping again this frame and just embellishing it and adding some stickers and things like that. It's so simple to do, but it just is like, it's now a lovely book to write in. It's something that I'm going to enjoy writing in and feel really like special writing in it. And yeah, you know, like these borders and things were all part of the book already. So that was one of the reasons why this one was nice to make. So this spread I was like not really that happy with, and I thought it's so ironic because I had that quote here: if we conceal our wounds out of fear and shame, our inner darkness can neither be illuminated nor become a light for others. And I made this whole like kind of mandala thing under here, and then just really didn't like it. So I stuck this piece of like vellum over the top of it, but then I thought, actually, you know, I think it would be fun to have a piece of paper here that I could write on as well. So yeah, I am concealing things in the book, but that's kind of a lesson in itself, I feel like, you know, so like I'm learning from the book already, which is fun. And then yeah, just a kind of open space for writing here, again, preserving the kind of frame and the pinkness and the greenness of the book that was already there. And then this spread is kind of a little bit more busy. It's got a tip in here, which I did like a print on here using a stencil, and then I pushed the tip in onto that so that it would like print off onto here as well, just like lightly, because the backs of these are just plain otherwise. And so now I've got space. I can write on here, I can write on here. This again is another pocket, so I haven't made anything to tuck in there yet, but if you send me stuff, I will tuck it in perhaps, or you know, or I can stick or write things that you send me as well into the book. But I thought having pockets might be useful, so that's another pocket. And then this is a very simple, I've just used like some little bits of torn paper. I painted over the words, and again I'll write, like you can see a little bit the words coming through here, like feathered friends, moving boxes, things like that. But once I write over this, you know, that'll kind of blend into the background, and that'll be fine. I was loving these like stickers from the grabby box as well, of these flowers. I think that's come out really nicely. And yeah, a little bit of bullet journaling paper, so you know, I can use that. I try to use like different papers and things throughout it, so I've got some like grid paper, some bullet journaling paper, some I don't know, I think I didn't use any lined paper actually. Maybe I should have used a bit of lined paper. I definitely used like plain paper in here as well. And then this one is kind of got like goldy type accents in it. It's got like horses and birds. I loved how like the wild of the earth kind of just was wanting to come out, and also on this page like music as well, so it's like sound and the animals as well, really like wanting to come through, much more like just vibrant than the do this do that was in this book before. I've got a white gel pen as well, so I like, even though I put black paper here, I will be able to write on that with the white gel pen, so yeah, that'll be good. And this spread kind of became very bird heavy. I've got my crow up here and like some little bits of stencils and things around, again kind of keeping the pinkness of the page and the green of the page here as the background. And like I could write amongst this, I might, but I can definitely write over here. And then we have, I really like this one with the hairs. I thought this was really beautiful. So this was like a little piece of paper from the grabby box, and that was from there as well actually, and some lovely little sort of stickers. So writing space here, writing space here, and I made like one of those like blackout poems using some of the words that were just printed on this page. So I haven't even stuck anything over here, I've just coloured over the top of it, and then put this quote: "Poetry heals the wounds inflicted by reason," which I felt like I made sense with the page. I just put these leaves as well to hide the page numbers. And then this page, I really love this. Like this is really kind of minimal, but at the last minute I decided to like spray it with, I've got these like sort of shimmer mist spray inks, and I think it like really like blended it all together, and the ink kind of spilled off a little bit, but that also looks really cool on some of the other pages you'll see later on as well, which yeah, so there's loads of writing space on this page. I gessoed over the edge of where I'd stuck this like mushroomy paper, and then use these mushrooms to kind of like make it as if it's like blended into the rest of the page. And yeah, I really like that one. I think that came out really cool. And then this one's very much more minimal, pared back, plenty of writing space, of just blank space on this page, with the kind of like butterfly, because of that, about like scars and healing. And butterflies for me are very like, you know, they're a symbol of transformation, aren't they? So I felt like they were very on point for this sort of thing. And then this is very minimal. I've got a tip in here which is right on a ball. I may make like a heading that could go on top of this like shiny, I don't know if you can actually see, it's got like leaves on it. Yeah, you can slightly, but it's not that easy to see. So this is a washi tape, which is like a kind of clear washi tape. It looks really good over black. I probably should have maybe chosen a different one to go on here, but I stuck a sticker on it as well. And I think like a heading or something would be nice on here. And then I can write on here, I can write under here. I didn't do anything to the back of this, so that might need a little bit of something stuck on it in future as well. But I think it looks cute, and I like the way these flowers are kind of poking out at the bottom. And then this, oh, I love this fox that I cut out, and then just these two little pieces of paper, like that's just 3 tiny little elements there, and it's just making like the whole page look really great, I think. And because this was the back page of the book, this is actually cream, whereas like going through the book, the pages are pink or they're green, well, white with green. So I just really love the colour of this page, and I think those colours really worked really beautifully with that. And then the very, very back spread, I just left as they were, and put this little dragonfly again. Dragonflies are another transformative symbol, so I felt like they were good for, I find they're good for all kinds of spell work actually. Any spell work which is about kind of healing or growth, I find butterflies, dragonflies, frogs are things that I tend to gravitate towards as support in those kind of workings. And that's the back. I chose this sticker just like a kind of woman, but with just like this kind of textural element, and then just went around it, and I think it actually looks really cool. I'm really, really pleased with it. Huge thanks to Cara for initiating this collaboration, and to all the other amazing art witches taking part. I've linked all of the other channels down below, and we've all used the hashtag #ArtWitchCollab so that you can easily find and watch the other videos, the other parts of this spell in action. And don't forget, if you would like to send me something to add in here, something to add to my spell, then just get in touch and I'll let you know how you can send that. And let me know what you think, how you think my altered book junk journal spell turned out. Thank you so much for watching. Warmest blessings, and I will see you very soon.